Hello, 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 hello. Namaskar. Good morning to everyone present on this special occasion. It gives me immense pleasure to extend to you all a very warm welcome on behalf of the physics family, Dibrugarh University. I am Sojanya Adhyabak and I welcome you to the 8th International Day of Women and Girls in Science organized by the Department of Physics, Dibrugarh University. The theme for this occasion is Innovate, Demonstrate, Elevate, Advance, Sustain Ideas, bringing everyone forward for sustainable and equitable development. The objective of this day is to encourage women and girls of the region for active participation in science. The conveners for today's program are Dr. Bulumani Kolita, Madam, Assistant Professor of the Department of Physics, Dibrugarh University, and Dr. Vinita Pathak, Madam, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics, Dibrugarh University. International Day of Women and Girls in Science is observed on 11th of February to recognize the role of women and girls in science, not only as beneficiaries but also as agents of change. Therefore, the day focuses on achieving full and equal access to and participation in science for women and girls, also to achieve gender equality and empowerment of women and girls. Gender equality has always been a core issue for the United States nations. Gender equality and the empowerment of women and girls will make a crucial contribution not only to economic development of the world, but to progress across all the goals and targets of 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development as well. On 14th of March 2011, the Commission of the Status of Women adopted a report at its 55th session with agreed conclusions on access and participation of women and girls in education, training, and science and technology, and for the promotion of women's equal access to full employment and decent work. On to 20 December 2013, the General Assembly adopted a resolution on science, technology, and innovation for development in which it recognized that full and equal access to and participation in science, technology, and innovation for women and girls of all ages is imperative for achieving gender equality and the empowerment of women and girls. Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir Professor Jiten Hajoika Sir could not be present here, but he has sent a special message to us on this very special occasion. I would like to request the technical team to please play the video.
Today is the International Day of Women and Girls in Science. Along with other communities and academic institutions all over India and in the globe, Dibrugarh University has decided to organize this. In different science programs. Our girls, students' participation in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics is compared to less than a male counterpart. So while on this occasion, I have a appeal to our parents, particularly our mothers, To encourage our students to participate in different science programs as for their awareness, as well as to take science discipline and give more emphasis on science subjects for the better benefit of the women community as a whole.
Heartfelt gratitude to our respected Vice Chancellor, sir. Today, we have two invited speakers with us, Dr. Falguni Patadia, physical scientist, Climate Science Branch, Langley Research Center, NASA, and Dr. Darshana Joshi, University of Cambridge, founder and CEO of Vigyanshala International. So, we welcome you, ma'am, to this very special occasion of 8th International Day of Women and Girls in Science. So, we are proceeding towards our first online interactive session. I request Dr. Binita Pathak, ma'am, to give a brief introduction about Dr. Falguni Patadia, madam.
Hello, good morning, each and everyone. Dr. Falguni Patadia, madam, are you there? You joined with back course. Hello, ma'am.
Yes, I am here, Vinita.
Okay. Okay. So, a warm welcome to all here. Especially, thank you very much, Falguni ma'am, for giving us a consent to be here with us today out of your busy schedule. And we are really grateful on behalf of the physics fraternity here and the Dibrugarh University fraternity, of course. So, uh, Patadia madam, actually, I met her in 2010, way back inside the University Delhi, and she was actually classmate of Professor Kailan Buyansar here in Ahmedabad Physical Research Laboratory in a United Nations course on space and atmospheric sciences. And from 2010, physically, after meeting her physically, I know her so well. And her area of expertise and these things actually is quite wider. So, but still, briefly, I would like to share with all the participants her major research areas are climate science, atmospheric composition, applied science, air quality, and weather. And she is actually currently working as a deputy project manager in prediction of worldwide energy resources project. It's a huge international project, power project, and she is the deputy project manager now. She obtained her master's in physics from DAVV, India. I hope she will be elaborating her school days experience and then becoming a scientist there in NASA. And her MSc was in 2000 and later completed PhD in atmospheric science in the University of Alabama, Huntsville in 2010. And now she is actually involved in satellite missions in NASA, primarily the MISR, that is one. And she is, of course, dealing with so many things. And in her interaction, definitely we are going to, all of us are going to get an elaborated light upon that. So thank you. And I also take this opportunity to welcome all the participants from various colleges. And also, if there is someone else from other institutions as well. And now I would like to request Dr. Falguni Madam to please start her interaction with us. Up,
Yeah, thank you so much,
Yeah.
Vinita.
The stage is yours now.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't know if you can see me, but I wanted to say hi to everyone. And indeed, it is my pleasure to be here with all the young minds here. And I want to thank Vinita a lot to reach out to me and invite me here. I've always enjoyed interacting with students, especially. And today being Women's Day, I'm even more excited to talk to you. And I begin by wishing us all a happy International Day for Women and Girls in Science. and everybody in science. I know that we have colleagues from other gender present on the call today. So I will present a little bit of work that I have been doing, and but keep it very basic, and want to bring out some of the lessons that science has actually taught me in my journey. And I'll try to keep that brief. We can talk more details if you have more questions. I'm more interested in interacting with you and to hear what your um, thoughts and questions are. So I will stop my camera now and start um, presenting. If you if there is any trouble hearing or understanding, please let me know. And I am trying to now uh, present my slides to you. There it is. And let's see. Okay. Is it is it visible to you all properly?
Yes, ma'am. It's visible.
Awesome. So, as you may have read, I chose to call it Eyes on Earth, going from theory to real world applications, because in science, that has been my journey from theory to applications. And I say Eyes on Earth because, firstly, like Binita said, I work at NASA and I do a lot of satellite remote sensing. I've been doing that for more than 22 years now. And when we hear of NASA, typically we think about space, we think of satellites, we think of the sky, the stars, and sun, and everything. And I would like to advocate, since I come from the Science Mission Directorate and Climate Science branch, that some of these satellites' eyes are on the Earth and they're looking at the Earth all the time. And what you see on this slide is a animation of all sky surface radiation as we see it on a monthly to monthly basis throughout the year. And this is derived from the satellite that I'm showing you all these images here. And just from, even if there is, if you may not, I know there is a physics background in the audience here. So if you are not from a remote sensing background, it's not very difficult to understand these kind of images. You see orange colors and blue colors. High is orange is higher values, blues are lower values. So that's the kind of radiation that's coming. We know equators get a lot of direct sunlight, and as we go to the poles, just because of how we are oriented as a planet, the poles get less sunlight, right? And that is what these satellites are observing, and um, that is what we are seeing here. So I want to just take a little bit of time to um, meet me. So I was born in Gujarat, but I have lived in five different states in my time in India. I my basic training when it came to choosing these specific subjects on higher secondary has been in science, which we call STEM today, right? And it was physics, mathematics, and chemistry was my mainstream. I went on to get a bachelor's. I got a BSc in with a major in electronics. So it was physics, math, and electronics as my major. And then I got a master's in physics. Um, and this was my education background in India. And then I moved from India to the US to get my PhD in 2004. And I worked on atmospheric sciences problems, and so my degree is in atmospheric sciences. But my work has been more related to atmospheric physics, which becomes a part of atmospheric sciences. Um, and I'll pause and answer any questions if students have, regarding how physics and atmospheric sciences are related. But taking all of this background training in science from the beginning. I had something that always interested me, which was physics, and learning it through my trainings all through my career. And even today, I've been working in earth sciences. Basically, we're looking at satellite data to study the earth. And at NASA, in the earth sciences, we're always asking the basic questions about, how is the earth system changing? What is causing these changes? And how will the system change over time? And with all of these learnings that we get of our understanding of the earth climate system as a whole, how can we use this knowledge to the benefit of the society? So, yeah, sorry, I think there was a slide that was, I'm going to skip here. So I want to start, just giving you that background about what we're trying to answer day to day with satellite data in the earth sciences realm. I want to go back. When I look back, Binita was talking to me about students and what we wanted to talk about STEM education. And I thought that when I stand and look back in life, I feel like all throughout our school career and my training in education, higher education, we kept solving all of these differential equations, right? And I came across this little joke a while ago where somebody is jokingly saying, I'm still waiting for the day that I will actually use these in real life. And if you had that question, then that's normal. If you didn't have it, then I will say it's not normal, right? And we've always had that question. And this is going to be a little premises of what I want to talk to you about today. Because, there are actually these equations are used in real world to understand real world. And so here I'm showing you some of the northern lights called, as you know, aurora borealis. Those are pictorial depiction of the magnetic field of Earth. The purple, and you're seeing to the bottom left is the sun with solar flares and all of that. And these are the beautiful auroral lights again. These are real. This is how it looks apparently. I haven't seen them. But then this is just a satellite making measurements of what they see in that magnetosphere, right? So here I want to come back and take a pause, and we can see we've learned. I'm sure you all have learned in your graduation and during your PhD career in physics. You've looked at these laws of Newton, right? If you look at it carefully, it is a differential equation, as many of you may have figured out. Yeah. So as you know, when there is a disturbance in the magnetosphere, it is caused by the solar wind from the sun. And these particles in the solar wind are charged particles, and they can travel all the way into the magnetosphere of Earth. And the charged particles, when they enter the ionosphere, they start getting ionized, and they go from one energy level to another energy level, and they emit light, and that is what aurora is. So in my master's in physics, remember we had done an extensive course for electrodynamics. I'm sure you are learning that. And that is where we had learned about the movement of these electrons and charged particles and how they emit light when it moves from one energy level to another. And so I just showed you a very real world example of where this is actually happening. And those are the equations in play. So I want all the students, I want to challenge you to look at your equations, these equations, go back and find out and understand how it explains aurora borealis. If you haven't done this already, perhaps you have already done that. So I'm not going to take it with a grain of salt there. So now we looked at the exosphere side of things, like looking outside. from the earth upwards. And when we look downwards, what you're looking here is a flow of winds. And these are surface and upper level winds. Winds in every height can be different. And this is a pictorial representation, but very close to what you would see with real world what's happening, right? At different levels, you can see the colors are changing, the pattern of winds, things that are moving are changing. Here you see a cyclonic pattern. So when you go from surface to the top of the atmosphere, the way the winds behave totally changes. Now observe here around the northern region, Himalayas, you can see that there is a gap, right? So the winds are hitting the Himalayas and they can go beyond that. But when you're in upper atmosphere, you see high winds everywhere, right? The colors are showing you that it is higher magnitude. The blue is the lower magnitude. And why are we staring at this visual over here? Because what can be explained in what is happening around us in the environment can be explained through equations of motions. The same equations, the same functions we were looking at earlier, those differential equations in the form of momentum can be explained here. As you know, when there is a pressure difference, things will flow from a higher pressure level to a lower pressure level, and this is basically just explaining in very simple way how winds will flow and where winds will flow, and why it is different when you go from surface to top. Now, in this little movie, the winds are computed by some models, and I just told you that these are equations. And what is model is basically a bunch of equations that are being solved by a computer program that's generating the magnitude of these winds, right? So now I want you to think about this equation as happening all around you every day, every single day, and it changes from season to season, and I will leave it to you for your imagination and your derivation of why it is changing from day to day, month to month, year to year, right? And where it fits in these equations. Some of you may be advanced and already know these, but if you already know this and you are a physicist or an atmospheric scientist, then think about machines. Think about airflows within a machine. A mechanical engineer thinks about this equation in those terms, right? While we think about it in atmospheric terms. So to say that equations basically play out a lot of our understanding of the world around us. And these is, we'll switch gears and I just show you a little bit about the different satellites. This is this just two different configurations where you see one satellite is going around the equatorial region, the top left one, and the bottom one is going pole to pole. So it will make different kind of observations, and these are a animation of just the various satellites that are in orbit currently. These are NASA satellites, but as you know, there are several other satellites from different countries orbiting the Earth, day in and out. And this, I think, was a very cool image, that movie that I would like to share with you. Um, and if you have not seen this, I will take a 10-second to allow you to observe what you're seeing on this one. So it's very clear at the background you're seeing Earth, right? That is our blue marble, as we call it in the remote sensing world. It's like a marble with all those cloud features that you're seeing, right? And you see something grayish coming and going out of your field of view. That is the moon. So there is a satellite that is situated at Lagrangian point, and it is taking measurements from million kilometer away from the Earth, and it can observe the moon and the Earth both, right? And it's making. So you have learned about Lagrangian laws, and did you know that law is used to situate a satellite that can look back on the Earth and take all these measurements and help us see the Earth day in and out. So I think this was a cool one that we liked when we saw it first time, and I like to show that. So now when these satellites that I showed you in different orbits, when they're going, they have all these instruments on them that are making all kinds of good observations of the earth in different bands, channels, different kind of capacities to do, measurements for a thin layer on the earth, or a thick layer, three-dimensional, two-dimensional, several kinds of different observations that the satellite does, and it can give us information about all of that, right? So when we put together, we can get cool images like this. And as you can see, this is India, and it is one of the seasons when we have a lot of burning activity happening over India. So those are the dry season, the winter months, when we have residual fire burning. And with the help of satellite, we have gained an understanding of the spread of the smoke that you can see coming out of the um, out from the fires in different regions. I don't know if you can see that, but basically, in the Indo-Gangetic Plain, you saw all of those fires happening, and the smoke, which is the grayish thing, which is getting transported across India. Um, and I hope it is interesting to you. I only have a couple of slides and remaining, so I wanted to show you these because the basic fundamental behind remote sensing of satellites is the understanding of electromagnetic radiation and the theory of electromagnetic radiation. When we solve these radiative transfer equations, that's when we are able to get all this information out of different kinds of satellites, right? Because ultimately, it is on the left, you are seeing this little diagram which is showing sun and all this energy that is coming from the sun, and then that gets it hits the earth, it gets reflected, it can get absorbed, it can get re-emitted. All of what happens and what it means can be explained by the electromagnetic theory, and it all basically basic fundamental is about the energy of the photon. The frequency it belongs to determines what we are able to see with different channels of the satellite. Um, and so this kind of information from several satellite instruments can be put together. Satellites have observation bands, and it can take special, it can gather information in these different wavelengths and get specific signatures of maybe green vegetation, soil, water, clouds, aerosols, all of these things at a very fundamental level, right? And when we put together, we looked at the models that were able to solve the differential equations and give us winds. There's remote sensing data sets making a lot of measurements day in and out of the global Earth system. And all of this can be put together into a modeling system, such as the global models that we have. One of the models in NASA called the GEOS that assimilates all of this information, and then we get a full picture of what's happening around the world, and you can see the movement of something. What it is, I'll tell you in a moment. But you can see the basic wind features, or how things are moving around the world. You can look at around the um, tropics. There is the yellows which is coming out of the Sahara. So this picture is basically the transport of aerosols, and it is showing us different kinds of aerosol. There is dust, there is biomass burning, there is industrial and vehicular pollution, so any sort of pollution that we define, and then there is sea salt that you see over the ocean. So everyone has a different color, but when we combine a lot of information, we can know where it is getting transported, what its magnitude is, what its type is, etc. So we use it. Satellite Earth scientists use it to study different kind of phenomena from these kinds of information. And since we started by talking about taking theory and making a real world application, I want to end by showing you that we knew the theory of remote sensing, which has its basis in the electromagnetic theory. You're reading Maxwell equations, right? Everything applies to solving remote sensing, theoretical understanding, or the radiative transfer of the information that the satellite has gathered, and we add some other information such as knowing things related to population on earth, where the roads are, is the population to do a lot of real world applications which we generally do not think about in the times when we are doing our grad schools. But I encourage you to think more about in direction of applications, because then these equations sound friendly. Just put it that way. And like Vinita said in the beginning, I'm going to give you an example of the power project where we use all of this information and help the people who want to make decisions on using renewable energy to generate light, basically, right, for their electric needs. So here is an example of a coffee shop which is in the northern part of the United States, and it is a family owned business, means it's a small business. But with Bob Garver, who is the founder, he believes in sustainable practices. So he was very interested to understand how he can make use of renewable energy for one of his new coffee warehouses. And so he wanted to find out what his options were. And somehow they learned about the decision support tool that uses NASA data to make decisions on where your solar panel can be, how big the solar panel can be, depending on how much light the area receives, depending on the direction of the building, where and the yes, the direction of the roof where you want to put the solar panels, and calculate how much energy it will generate, right? So you and then you want to decide what kind of battery storage you need. So remember, this is a warehouse that they were creating. So NASA's data sets on solar radiation and modeling data sets on meteorology, winds, temperature, all of these feeds into a tool, along with several other information like the information about the building that needed this kind of decision making. Used this, and they calculated that a south facing wall was appropriate, and they sized the solar panel. The entire wall is actually a solar panel wall, and they could save 40% on their heating requirements from other sources. So now they are naturally using sunlight, which is free, right, and converting it into energy. And annually, they started saving $10,000 on their energy needs. So this is just one example, but there are several applications of remote sensing for Earth, from Earth sciences, especially. So, and I gave you a flavor. Just a flavor of the kind of work we're doing and what I've been involved in over the past several years. And I have a lot of key takeaways as I made my journey through my education, elementary school all the way into my PhD, my postdoctoral trainings, and even until now. And since we have a lot of students in audience, I just leave this up there. But these few things I want to definitely encourage all the students to think is, there is something called an imposter syndrome, which is not specific to a gender. This generally exists, and we feel like everybody else knows much more than me. This is not true. And I love this quote, which I read somewhere, and I actually don't know who it is from, but basically it is about talking about teaching a fish to climb a tree. You cannot teach a fish to climb tree, right? So if I'm a fish, I can learn swimming, but if I'm pushing myself thinking that that monkey knows how to climb tree and I know nothing, then that doesn't make any sense. I need to excel in swimming because I'm a fish who can only live in water, right? So there are strengths that we all have, and we just need to be comfortable with what we have and try to not feel like everybody else in the world knows much more than me. You will be surprised as you move on. So don't wait for the surprise for later in life. Right now, you are great at what you're doing and be very confident with that. And as we go through a education process, we gather degrees, whether you're a graduate student, undergraduate student, a PhD student. What I got the best learning of my life is to look at that time period as a process to gather all the tools that we need to solve a problem. That is not the time to solve a problem or make a great discovery. This is what one of my professors taught me during my PhD years, that you need to work hard and pick up all the tools that you need to do your research, which means I needed to learn coding, I needed to take my classes, understand the theory, and now I'm applying it, right? So that's what I mean here. And then exposure is one of the biggest things that can help us in our career building. So and I know Dibrugarh is big about a lot of these things. There's good faculty, and that it is one of these internships slash summer schools that um, I had met Kalyan Guyan there. We went to the common school, right? So these were exposures that were very, very valuable for the way I looked at science, the things that attracted me to science, or to discover that I actually like research, participating in conferences. And one of the things that at least my generation was not really taught as a training in during my degree education is a volunteering and service component, where you actually work within your community, the scientific community, and a lot that you learn. There is a huge network you can form of colleagues, peers, that become the support system as we start moving ahead in life, and going to the real world of doing an actual job, right? Mentor. No matter which age group we are in, a mentor is really, really somebody who can invest and look beyond what we can see and show us a path, help us think through. If I am thinking through, right? I still have a mentor, and mentors have actually shaped a lot of things. In just these mentors don't have to just be mentors who have been mentoring in my scientific career, but also on the personal side, right? um, the other big tool that you need to include in the toolbox as you are preparing any more about it, this is the fundamental to help us not only keep doing this work that we really like, but also to support us to create the balance in life when we're trying to, manage a lot of things as life moves on. And as personal appeal to as around us, this is the bad thing about virtual interaction about what the audience is able to see or not. So I will pause there. I hopefully we can have some good conversation, and I can answer.
Itu plus plus tolong plus. Windows capture device display capture. Windows capture window capture dong. Display capture. Okay mai. Display capture aku hai audio capture mai kan. Capture perfect. ঠিক আছে এটো ওকে মাৰ তাৰপিছত আকৌ অডিঅ' কেপচাৰ ক'ত অডিঅ' তাতে প্লাছ কৰি দিলোঁ অডিঅ' ইনপুট কেপচাৰ এইটো অডিঅ' আউটপুট কেপচাৰ Okay, okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for enlightening us with the knowledge of various fields of application from theory to the real world. Thank you for joining this online session. We are grateful to you and proud of you as an Indian achieving heights of success. Dr. Darshana Joshi ma'am has joined us. So we welcome you, ma'am, to this very special occasion of 8th International Day of Women and Girls in Science. Now we are proceeding towards our second online
Thank you
interactive
very
session.
much, ma'am,
I request
for
Dr.
enlightening
Bulmani
us
madam
with the knowledge
to
of various
please
fields
give a brief
of
introduction
application from
about
theory
Dr.
to the
Darshana
real
Joshi
world.
ma'am. Thank you for joining this online session. We are grateful to you and proud of you as an
Hello,
Indian
Darshana. Can you hear
achieving
me?
heights of success.
Hi, Dr. Kalita. Nice to see you after such a long
Dr.
time.
Darshana Joshi ma'am has
So-
joined us.
Yeah,
So
so
we
saw you
welcome
after
you,
many years,
ma'am,
right?
to this very special
So I
occasion
hope you are feeling good.
of
So
8th
very good morning to
International
all.
Day of Women and Girls in
Darshana,
Science. Now we are proceeding towards
actually I met her in
our second online. Thank you very much, ma'am. I request
for enlightening us with the knowledge of various
please give
fields
a brief
of application from
about
theory
Dr.
to the
Darshana
real
Joshi
world.
ma'am.
Thank you
Am I
for
audible?
joining this online session. We are grateful to you and proud of you as an
Is it fine?
Yes.
Darshana, can you hear us?
Yeah. This is better.
So we are having little bit of network issues, so we are shifting from one network to another.
No problem.
Okay.
So, Dr. Kalita, maybe I can start myself. मेरे talk में ही my introduction is there because today I wanted to share the journey with students.
Yeah.
So I can directly start.
Yeah, so just actually we prepared one slide also if we can.
Either ways is fine with me.
So she's Dr. Darshana Joshi. So I met her as a master's student in JNCSF Bangalore. So you can go through, actually, you can even Google her name. So she has done a lot. She's actually very young girl. So she did her PhD from University of Cambridge, and she is a very passionate physicist, as it is written here. Even you can find it in Google. Uh, so can we go through the next slide as well, because she is doing a lot for the girls of the developing countries. So I would like to add one more thing here, that recently Niti Aayog, as part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, actually they awarded 75 women scientists of India for, it is WTI, Women Transforming India Awards, and Darshana is one of the recipients. So we congratulate you, Darshana, for such wonderful achievement, and we really believe and we hope that you will do a lot for all of us. Thank you. So we welcome you on this auspicious occasion, and I expect a very fruitful interaction of our students with you. And I would also like to mention that she is not feeling well, and she called me yesterday. So I hope she will be able to manage the interaction. Thank you, Darshana.
Thank you, Bulamanidi, for that kind introduction. And it's indeed a pleasure to be connected with you after so many years and to be sharing what I'm doing. So I just wanted to give our young people here a heads up that today you heard science in some form from the previous speakers, and today you will hear about the scientists and not the science much, because I really want to emphasize that at the end of the day, we are all humans, and our journeys are like they draw a value from human values such as inspiration and aspirations. And I think those two things are really important, especially when you are young. Are my slides visible? Can
Yes,
someone
ma'am.
confirm
Yes,
that?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. The slides are visible.
Okay, thank you. So
Thank
I'm a
you.
scientist, I'm a social entrepreneur, and I'm a mentor. And all these three hats that I wear on an everyday basis inspire me to do what I do. And my single motto: science and technology for a better world. Right? So uh, I've put out 4 slides here, right? The first one is the day when Chennai, a city which had so many industries, hit day zero. Day zero means there was no water left in the city on that particular day. And you can see that so many people are waiting for water and jumping on tankers. On the other side, you see the Australian wildfires. We also have, I come from Uttarakhand, we have annual wildfires every year. Huge loss of biodiversity, huge loss to the economy, but it never gets covered. but these things are happening just in our backyards. This is the air quality
Sorry
index.
to disturb you, ma'am. Uh, the line of box was disturbing the program, so it's okay now. It's fine. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, are you able to hear properly?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's audible.
No problem. Okay. So the first one is the water crisis. So my question is the present model of development sustainable for us? So you see four different pictures. The first one is the Chennai water crisis. The second one is wildfires. Australian and Amazon wildfires are getting a lot of media attention, but we are having them every year in our country as well. And they aren't getting as many attention as they should, but somebody needs to solve for them, to ensure that India leaps towards a sustainable future. Then this is our India Gate, which is completely missing. A Delhi, which is like completely covered in smog during winters. We hear about the like extremely poor air quality. And this is the great plastic patch, like almost 15 square kilometer, just plastic in the ocean between, the west coast of US and Japan. So in the Pacific Ocean, there's a huge 15 square kilometer area with nothing but plastic. So the question is the present model of development sustainable? And why all we need to ask this question, all of us need to ask this question, because we are students of science and technology. And 5 साल में आप जहाँ होंगे उससे बड़ी सिर्फ एक ही चीज होगी कि ये दुनिया कहाँ है, लाइक वेयर यू विल बी इन 5 years time. The most important question than that is where the world will be. So all of us today, let's start thinking about how we apply our training of science and technology to solve for a better world, right? And I want you all to think beyond the traditional careers that we all come about. Oh, I'll become a professor, I'll become a teacher. They are brilliant jobs, but if you have the potential and or I will apply for a government job. So if you start thinking beyond these boxes and start really utilizing your training of science and technology to solve for, nothing can stop you from being the next disruptor there, right? So I just wanted to start with this question so that it stays in your mind. With this, I would like to come to today's topic, which is finding your tribe and building a rewarding career in STEM. So first of all, please pardon my throat. My heartiest wishes to all of you on the International Day of Women and Girls in Science. And I'm really excited to share my journey, how I'm doing, solving for some of the problems that I listed in the first slide through finding my tribe, and how, as a young student, can you start thinking about your career, right? So, but before we go deeper, let me define tribe for you. Tribe is nothing but a distinctive or close-knit group of people who are driven by common purpose or value system, right? So you all are working towards a common goal. You all are driven by the same passion for science, and you all, not just you want to go ahead, but you want other people around you should also go. What I mean by tribe is beautifully summarized in this Sanskrit shloka that says, Acharya Padam Adate, Padam Shishya Somedhya, Padam Sabrahmacharibhya, Padam Kalakarmenicha. So a student in their lifetime learns a quarter from their gurus or mentors, a quarter from their own intelligence, a quarter from their peers, and a quarter with the passage of time, right? So this quarter that you learn from your mentors and the quarter that you learn from your peers is what I call as a tribe, and they are very, very important part of your learning where you will end up. So, a bit about myself. I am a first generation learner, daughter of a farmer and electrician couple from Uttarakhand, and a PhD in physics from the University of Cambridge. These are some of the people that I love to call my tribe, and this is when my family visited me in Cambridge when I graduated. So, I was born in a small village in the foothills of Himalayas in 1989. This is the picture from my village. Then I came to Delhi to study in a government school in Delhi. I attended Miranda House. A college at the University of Delhi, and then I went to JNCSR Bangalore, where I met Dr. Kavita where I was doing my master's studies. Then I went to Cambridge in 2013. Uh, 2013 to do my PhD. And 2019, when I came back to India and started Vigyan Shala International with my partner Vijay. So this is a journey that I have had over the years, and much of this journey I owe to my tribe. I owe to the mentors and teachers who supported me to go from one lab into the other. And while at Cambridge, I also became the first Indian woman to be the president of the Graduate Union, which is the postgraduate representative body of students at the university, right? And it represents 12,000 plus PhDs and master students to the university. And I got to be a trustee of university for the year, and that was a very, very different experience. The reason why I bring it here is sometimes we underestimate the importance of extracurricular or co-curricular activities in our life. For me, this one experience really pushed me towards thinking of a different track, a full-time track from being either a professor or a researcher. I moved into becoming a social entrepreneur to really dive deeper and take that risk and start something that would change the way I think. I also was lucky that I found someone with whom I shared my passion of building these communities and changing the way science is communicated. And the reason why I bring this thing particularly here is for young girls and young women. A lot of time they are forced to drop out of their career once they get married, right? So marriage is a very, very key decision in a girl's career, I would say. So if you are a woman listening out to me, I would say please have the full agency and control over who you marry and how you marry, because that is going to create a huge impact on the way you think about your career, right? So how all of this happened, like how this journey from Uttarakhand to Cambridge and back, and now building Vigyan Shala and engaging with young minds like you, thousands of you across India, has worked out for me. Three important pillars that I swear by. I say like curiosity, be curious, be like ask questions, like just never stop questioning, because when you question, that's when the change begins. The second is be persistent in your efforts, like never give up, find all the help that you need. And the third most important pillar is the tribe, because when you feel that you are fumbling and falling down, your tribe will hold you together. It will recharge your battery and it will help you move forward with double passion and energy. All right. So, sorry, this. I don't know how it ended up there. Just give me a minute. Uh, Yeah, so you all are studying at university. For me, my tribe was formed with the wonderful teachers that taught me in the college, and they so much so that they continue to be part of my journey till today. The first picture that you see here, Professor Rita Chandra, she's one of my most favorite teachers from college. When I was going to Cambridge to study. And I come from a very, lower middle class family. My father worked as an electrician in Delhi government, and for almost a year, their salaries hadn't been given. Okay, so I didn't have much money to prepare for visa, or my scholarship was going to come when I go there, so I needed some hard cash at hand. So my sister's family, they bought my tickets. One of my they did my visa and everything. My mentor did the tickets, and she was the one who really gave me a check and said, "Hey, Darshana, this is what you really need to now take in hand and go." So a year later, when I go back to her to return that money, almost 50,000 rupees, which was like more than half of my father's salary at that particular point of the entire year, she refused to take it back. And she said, "I have done my job. Now it is your responsibility to pay it forward." And those 50,000 rupees for me really laid the foundation of how I start thinking about somebody's investment, can make a difference. And this is where the seed of Vigyanshala for me was sown, that I really want to be there for those people who are dreaming, who are dreaming of creating a disruptive career in science and technology, and how we can enable them. So this is what your tribe, like their belief, can really steer the way you want to go ahead. So another part of my tribe were my three very close friends. I don't know what's happening to the animation. Just give me a minute. so so this is three of us. So that was the tribe part of the mentors and teacher. Now comes your peers, right? Three of us, three women, left to right, Srishti, Renu, and myself. Dr. Kavita might know Srishti because they worked with Professor Shobna in the same thing. And three of us were from three first generation families. Nobody before us in our families had been to a university, so we had absolutely no idea what we could do after university. We were really lost. Where will we go after our BScs and all? But this is three of us in 2019. All three of us are PhDs from leading global universities. Both Renu and Srishti had Marie Curie fellowships to their credits, and together we are smashing what we call as glass ceiling in science, because where women are not able to progress to the next level because of the challenges, but because three of us stuck together, supported each other in our journeys, and collectively we were able to move. So I'll just give an example, right? When you are climbing an uphill with a huge stone, and you are putting so much effort into doing it, and it's really difficult. It feels like an arduous task which never ends. But when you have your tribe with you, the effort reduces, and and the outcome multiplies. So today, young men and women sitting in the audience, I would like you to go back and think about who your tribe really is. Who are the people around you who could help you do this uphill task of chasing your dreams together, right? Because when you work together, effort effort reduces and the outcome multiplies, right? So, some of my professors who've been a huge, how do I say, influence on me the way I have thought about things. Professor Shobna Narasimhan, who is Dr. Bulamani Kalita and my both mentors, she's like working like at an international level to promote young women towards careers in science and technology, and we draw our inspiration from her, and many women like her before us who've come, and now for it is for us to open doors for many like you. And slowly I have transitioned from being a mentor, a mentee to a mentor. So these are some of my mentees whom I mentored. And Swati is doing her PhD at Cambridge. Shivani has recently graduated with a PhD from Memorial University. Priya is now working with a leading consulting in Mumbai, and Neeraj, on the other hand, is bringing quality science education to remote schools in Udaipur. So just to be able to enable and open those pathways is something I believe is really important, and it comes when you have that tribe with you, and you will see that the whole thing will start multiplying, and it will be a village who will be cheering for you, and you will be cheering for them. And it's really, really important, because we are not individuals, we are communities, and our communities are what make who we are today. And now going back to the first question, right? We had so many challenges, and who will solve those challenges? You people are going to solve those challenges. And I believe at Vigyanshala, we can enable you to solve those challenges. So, the work that I'm doing, so you see that this is like this really polluted neighborhood in Delhi where I grew up, and this is my village where I was born. And this is where all my heart was, right? My family had to migrate out of this village and go to Delhi, live in a very cramped up neighborhood. And really, that's where the rest of my life was uh, shaped. So just like us, 65% of India's population is still living in rural areas, and there's a huge migration from villages to the cities, where they are literally coming and leading very difficult life under very difficult circumstances, right? Whereas if you look at the rural areas, the schools and colleges are not equipping them with the science education that they could. So I want to see an India where in every rural college of the country, every rural school of the country, there is an aspiration for doing science. There are local innovators everywhere who are solving local challenges, building those solutions together. And that's what I'm trying to do, so that tomorrow, when there's a forest fire in Uttarakhand, my mentees or students are able to solve for it. Or there is another crisis, any other challenge, they are able to mitigate it with local innovation, something like pandemic. Because when the rural communities are faced with challenges like climate change or pandemic, they are least equipped to solve for it, right? But if people like you start thinking about those challenges, I think solving them men's work. It is also equally, as partners, men's job too. And we really would like um, as many partners as there, right? Young boys, just go home and think like how much household work your sisters or other your mothers are indulging in compared to when you're looking at your mothers. Are they getting rest? Are they having the opportunity? Has anybody even asked them what were their dreams and aspirations, right? So this is a problem that I am now trying to solve with my training in science. We run a program called Kalpana She for STEM, where we are building a global community of young women from India and several other countries, where a girl sitting in Manipur can now talk to a girl sitting in Uttarakhand or a girl sitting in Africa, and together they can build innovative solutions by bringing the knowledge that their communities and they locally hold, right? So we work with building long-term career and vision clarity into girls. We bring you relatable role models who are smashing like all the boundaries in different sectors, from entrepreneurship to journalism, in science of course, to industrial research, to scientific academia. And then we equip you to do acquire advanced STEM skills by doing projects wherever you are. You know, we all apply for summer research projects to IITs and universities, and we don't end up getting those a lot of time. But what if I told you, you sit wherever you are and you pick up a problem, just learn the scientific methodology, and start doing your own research and work? You can actually acquire good amount of scientific tinkering and skills with very very limited resources. And this is a project that we are really working on. And the fourth aspect is we provide our girls with sorry, we provide you with career readiness, so that when you are ready to take that tax leap, we we help you prepare your CVs, cover letters, SOPs, whatever you need to do. We help you create good LinkedIn profiles so that you can put yourself out there in the community. So this is what our Kalpana program, Shifa STEM program is, a power community of women in science. And sorry, I forgot to change this. So the next cohort of program Kalpana basically will start in February, and another one in April. I would like to invite all the young women here studying undergraduate and postgraduate programs. It's not for school students, it's for only girls who are in UB, part of this tribe. This program is free to every girl who is below an income of 3 lakh per annum. And if you're above that, we charge only 5% of the overall program cost. But if you're not able to pay that, you can write to us and we will waive that fee for you. So this is the QR code. You can scan it, uh, and you can apply for this. I can share more details, but I would just like to leave with this, like, everything about a career starts with dreaming, and if you can dream it, you can be it. All right. So thank you, friends at Dibrugarh University, for having me here today. I hope I was able to bring some value into the session, and I would have loved to bring more energy, but I'm like, just I was not even able to like talk until yesterday. So today, at least some voice is coming. So I'll be happy to take any questions. My colleague Sumitra is here, and who will be able to answer any questions regarding the program Kalpana and how you apply for it. And we are now partnering with several IITs, including IIT Guwahati. Also, we are in conversation with to really bring these opportunities. Our one of our partners, Cummins, is looking at nurturing and mentoring students from the Northeast, and Cummins is a big engineering company that has almost 30% say upper women in their workforce, right? So they are really looking to nurture and mentor. So for us, Northeast is going to be a big strategic focus, and we would love to partner with Dibrugarh University and other universities and colleges in Assam to bring quality career coaching and mentoring to young girls there. So, thank you, Bulmanidi, for inviting me here today. I hope to see you all and conduct an awesome science session in person someday. Um, Sorry, I'll mute myself.
Darshana, yes, I can understand your health condition. So I am really sorry. It was a kind of pressure for you, right? Uh,
I
so
love
thank
doing
you
this.
very much. You at least managed, and I also know that you are attending some other program simultaneously. So yes, we appreciate. Means of course we congratulate first of all you for all the achievement out of all the constraints, right? We understand. Means if even many of us, including me, I know from what background I have come from. So yeah, that is really so. That is why sometimes even I praise myself. So that is required.
It is
Yeah,
very
you have.
important. It is very
Yes,
important. If
yes,
we don't do a
yes, yes. And all the time, actually, you should not compare yourself with others. That is also one more important point we have to remember. Anyway, we really thank you for all the efforts you have put to give this presentation out of your health condition. So now I would like to request the students if they want to know, because definitely they will have many queries regarding Kalpana. And your husband has also joined or what?
no.
Means
So my colleague Sumitra and one of our mentee Diksha, who was like
yes,
Diksha,
yes,
who was
I
part
can
of our
see.
first cohort. So they both are here. So they will be able to answer any queries, because Sumitra runs our university partnerships and bringing students into the program. So
Mhm.
and she herself is a B Pharma and MBA. So she also comes from STEM background. So we all are scientists in this organizations in some or the other form.
Yeah, yeah. And Darshana, one more thing I would like to mention here, that today, after this online session, actually, we are going to organize an interactive session with the school children. So we have invited the girl students specially on this occasion. Around 50 will be participating today. So yes, there is one model school of our university. So people are from different backgrounds. So that is why we thought of doing that interactive session. So I don't know, but we are hopeful. Maybe within our capacity, we'll try our best to at least motivate those students to pursue a career in science. And
That is amazing.
definitely, yeah, definitely, you have rightly stated that ultimate goal should not be to become a professor or engineer or doctor or something like that, right? There are many things, and you are the right example in this context.
I think you
So
are
yes,
too humble, but I didn't mean to say it that way. But I'm saying, like, all of us are always looking at conventional paths, whereas the world is
yes,
full of possibilities, and
yes,
the more we dream, the bigger the possibilities get.
mm, yes, yes. If you have some question, yes, yes, yes. And Darshana, we would also like to inform you that many participants are there from the affiliated colleges. So they have logged in. Yes, I request all of you, if you have any queries, as Darshana has stated regarding the Kalpana program. So if you want to participate there, definitely, yes, or maybe some other
Sumitra,
question.
can you take some of the questions?
Yes, yes,
Like,
Darshana. Yeah,
go to
yeah,
certain.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes. Good morning. Am I audible? Yes, you are audible. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm Debojani. I work at the UGC Center for Women's Studies, Dibrugarh University, and I congratulate Madam for bringing out the whole gender perspective to understanding this women's participation in science and science and the whole gender gap when it comes to women girls enrollment into the study. right? But it is a slow process. Unless, from the grassroots that we talk about, we all also have to change that mindset. So we are conditioned in our upbringing as women that, we are primary caretakers for our family, and we have to go forward with that, right? So take my example, take me as an example. So I took a break in my career because I had a baby during the lockdown, and I was working with a bank. And it was a tough decision at that point for me, because I was not the primary breadwinner of the family. So my job was to just take care of my son and stay at home with the kids. So after that, of course, I had a supportive partner who would just said, you can start now after 2 years. But many women are not given that kind of a support, and women themselves start doubting because of all the conditioning that happens through life. There will be so many things, but you yourself has to push yourself to achieve different things, and try to do what bit you can in the world. And yes, there are many companies. So Goldman Sachs is conducting 10,000 women entrepreneurs. They are trying to get women in the workforce. There's return to work for women. There are many programs with various companies, but community problem rather than a single individual problem. So we all have to work towards that. I hope that was helpful.
Thank you, Sumitra. That was a very good context. And I think building on what Sumitra said, what we are trying to hear is like the young women, when they are studying, they are not aware that they are going to face challenges like these, right? That they will have to negotiate with their families, they'll have to negotiate with other people on their choices and important life decisions, right? So what we are trying to do now at Kalpana is ensuring that we bring women role models such as Bulmani or myself or other people who are coming and sharing that, hey, all these ups and downs are parts of thing, and we are pushing so that there is a road ahead for you people, right? The more younger women come and push and ask for their rightful share, the better it gets. At government front, of course, government is trying, but the selection committees and all, I can't comment, we can't comment on that because we are not part of any of those academic circuits as a whole. So right now we are trying to bring government, we are trying to bring industries, we are trying to bring universities, and we are trying to bring the girls themselves together, so that all of us, we build an active ecosystem that helps women thrive in STEM for future, right? So that you have possibilities laid out there. Hey, if plan A of my career doesn't work, I'll go for plan B and I'll still remain in science and tech workforce. I'll continue to make a difference and I'll continue to pursue what I love, right? So I think that's really, really important. And wo ecosystem has to come from all sides. Those ecosystems have to start right in the universities. And I think Dibrugarh University, by starting to celebrate such a day, bringing different colleges and schools and girls and right. So thank you, Devjani, for that question and that comment. So really nice to talk to you.
Yeah, Darshana, I would like to add here that you must be aware of the gender groups forming in different branches of science, right? So high energy physics, it was already there, and CMP they have recently formed. And fortunately, Shobna was there to make me a part of that group. So I am there in the gender group in CMP. So
Amazing.
yeah, so there are certain main objectives of those group basically.
Yeah.
So I think these are different initiatives taken by different groups of people. Of course, we cannot, yes, as you rightly said, we cannot ask for it from the government side at this moment, because yes, the force has to come from our side as well, right?
Yeah, it's a collective effort. Like government is doing their bit, we are also pushing, and I think together we will make it count. So at this point, if you people don't mind, I will have to excuse myself because I have to be somewhere else. But Sumitra and Diksha are here. If anybody wants to ask any questions to them regarding program Kalpana, and we hope many of the girls from Dibrugarh University come into the program, and we are going to launch a partnership with Cummins for specifically for girls in the Northeast. So we would love to partner with your university and hopefully visit you people someday, and take this to the next level. So uh, really looking forward to a lot more. Sorry. Sumitra,
Yes.
are you okay to stay for another 10 minutes?
Yeah, Darshana, I know that you are already attending some other program. So you can leave because your health is also not good, right? So we thank all of us. Thank you for this beautiful interaction we had. And we are really hopeful in near future, definitely our girls will be participating in the Kalpana program. So yeah, definitely we'll be in touch. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thanks a lot. And Sumita is here, so we can continue to ask you questions.
Thank you, ma'am. So, is there any questions that you want me to take up?
Any college students are there to raise the questions? Can you, ma'am, please elaborate the Kalpana scheme to all of us?
Okay,
It would be
Kalpana
very
is a
helpful.
program.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so
Thank you,
I'll
ma'am.
take this up. So, yeah. Kalpana program as such, we started during the lockdown. So it is an online community that we built in the sense that girls from different parts of the country, and now we are happy to say internationally around 14 countries, those girls are also coming into the program Kalpana. And what we do here is we work with the girls threefold. So we start building their skills, upskill themselves basically, give them training courses and master classes in the way they can prepare the CV, how to in general map their career plan. So there is one module where they have a career action plan and what they would like to do in their career. We make them do SWOT analysis, life SWOT analysis with our mentor, and all this is conducted. So Kalpana program, sorry, I should start from the beginning. So Kalpana program now is divided into two phases, that is the incubator phase and the accelerator phase. The incubator phase is a 3 month program, online program, and the accelerator phase is a 3 month online program. So, in the first 3 months in the incubator phase, we this is a collective effort in the sense that all the girls from across India and across the world, they come into one single platform, and we have master classes, we have speak up Kalpana sessions, and the other one-on-one interaction sessions. So in the masterclass, what we do is we work individually with them, individually in the sense in a collective platform in a classroom. We give them these tools to work with and plan out their career, map out their career. So these tools are such that they think about their career from their end. It's not like the ready-made answers. Like if I'm doing BSc chemistry, what can I do next? Which university can I apply to next? No, that is not what we do here. We give them a career plan in a such a way that they think about themselves, their motivations, and what drives them in their career. For example, there is one mentee, rather Kushi. She's from Delhi University, and she decided that after doing her BSc in science, she wanted to become a science communicator. She liked the management and communication, science communication, and she wanted to go there instead of being becoming a PhD student. So we give them an actionable items for them. We train them in their scientific temperament and how to deal with challenges they get, and basically talk out their challenges that they're facing at home. And this community of women also, they help them in their career, right? The second part of the program is Speak Up Kalpana sessions, where we get women from across the globe who are pioneers in their particular field, be it a professor, be it a researcher, be it a corporate leading head in big companies, and other people who are social entrepreneurs who are trying to do good for the society by taking varied steps. So that is the other session. So these students come there and they can speak and interact with these women, and these women also talk about their journeys, the hardships, and what made them persist, or who were their community or tribe, and how people can get ahead in their lives, right? In general, how to go about their struggles in life. So that is what we do here in Kalpana program. And the second, we have assignments that these people also have to do. So once these assignments are done, and we, uh, they submit their assignments and we give feedback 3 4 times and how to develop their say SOPs and their resumes or their applications to the universities and what kind of analysis they've done on themselves. And after that, if they're really committed and we look for their attendance and their commitment to the program, they go to accelerator phase where we pair them with mentors. So 1:5 ratio is what we look at, and these mentors further work with them on developing these skills that they've learned in the initial incubator phase, and they deep dive with them and get them to go deep into their lives and explore what options they have out there. So that is what is the thing we do in Kalpana. Yeah. I hope I mean, you got what we're doing here. So, yeah.
Yes,
Am I
Sumitra.
Thank you,
audible?
thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, would you please elaborate a bit upon Vigyanshala to us
So,
activities?
Darshana mentioned,
Yeah, on the activities
yeah, so
specifically.
when correct. So we have two flagship programs called STEM Champions and Program Kalpana. So STEM Champions, she works in the Himalayas, especially Uttarakhand, because she comes from there. We tie up with these government colleges and colleges who are interested in us, and we select a few committed students and students who show. Who are very enthusiastic to learn more about science. We train them in different modules of how to go about different aspects of their career and how to something similar to what we do in Kalpana, but more deeper, and the interaction is more one-on-one there because we have labs there set up in these colleges in Uttarakhand, and the labs they do experimentation all. Diksha here is also one such mentee from the STEM champion, and there these students are made to do student outreach modules in their schools, and in turn inspire another generation of students to pursue sciences. So that is one program that we do in Vignan Shala, and the other is Kalpana, like I said earlier. Apart from this, we conduct workshops also once in a while in different colleges to increase scientific temperament, but that has reduced over these years because these programs are taking our focus most of the time. So yeah, that's what we do at Vignan Chala. Diksha, do you want to add something here of what you do?
Yeah, sure. Hi everyone, I'm Diksha. I'm from Uttarakhand. I've been part of Vigyanshala for now 3 years now. I was the pre-pilot for STEM Champions program, as Sumitra mentioned, and I was part of Kalpana 1.0, and I helped in managing the Kalpana 2.0. So, to add to Sumitra, Vigyanshala focuses on STEM education, and they are doing two programs as Sumitra mentioned. Kalpana is specifically for girls in STEM who want to pursue a career in STEM, whether it is science, tech, or maths, or engineering, whatever they like. And if you have any specific questions about the experiences or how it was like as a mentee in Kalpana, I would be happy to answer that. And yeah,
Yes. So, Diksha, madam, am I audible?
please call me Diksha. Yes,
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, okay. Nice to hear from you. So, one query regarding the Vigyansala activities is that is there any joining fee? Because I missed that part when Darshana was saying.
okay. So the program is free. Kalpana program is free for students who have a annual income below 3 lakhs. And then people who want to like get enrolled above that, it has like a 5% fees. And even if like they can afford it, but due to some circumstances they cannot, we understand that. So if you write to us, we will waive that fee. So it's free for people who have 3 lakh below income per annum. And if you are not able to afford it, you can just write to us and we will consider your fee waived. So it's free in essence. Yeah.
Yeah, one more thing is that is it for undergraduate and postgraduate student, or maybe postgraduate completed students can
No,
also? Yeah.
this is for undergraduates and MSc students and like. But yeah, postgraduate students also can apply to it. There is no issue there, I think.
Okay. And the other activity of Bigyan Salah, where you said that you take the government schools mainly from Uttarakhand, right? So yeah, it is limited to Uttarakhand only, or you have done it in other states? Uh,
Actually, we just started with Uttarakhand because Darshana was from there and she
right.
knew the environment there and
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So it was a pilot and it's still in the nascent phase. Rather, they're still figuring it out. It's the third year of STEM champions, and we are set to process. I mean, her vision for the future is to go to different parts of the Himalayas and get the students under Vinyanshala so that we can help them in the scientific temperament and pursue the career in STEM, like she said. But yeah, we started in Uttarakhand because it was her home base.
Yeah.
So it was a starting base somewhere. She wanted to start it there for because she loved it there.
Yeah. So it is for school level children, right? It's up to 12
No,
for.
no, no. That is also to under. No, no. It is for undergraduates and postgraduates. But these undergraduates and postgraduates conduct outreach programs in the schools. So
Okay.
in turn, we are helping. We are telling them that they have to take the baton forward to inspire other generation of children, right, students.
So the institute has to apply for this Bigyan Salah, this thing, right?
No, no, no. We actually approached them in Uttarakhand. But
Mm.
if you are
No,
interested, I
regarding
mean,
workshop, as you said, you hold some workshops also apart from this.
yeah, I mean, we can just take the conversation forward once we talk to Darshana if she's interested and all.
Yeah, yeah.
So far, yeah.
Okay, okay, thank you.
To add to that, we like about the workshop. So like the Uttarakhand, the STEM Champions program is very, as Sumitra said, in nascent phase, and it is very located to Uttarakhand for now. Maybe in coming future we don't know that of yet, because it's very high touch program, and it is like the students work there. We have created labs there, so it's very on place sort of program. And they also joined Kalpana. So the girls from the STEM Champions program, I was there, right? And I joined Kalpana. So that is that. And about workshops and outreaches. So we have started workshops and outreaches, Kalpana chapters in universities.
Yeah.
So in Ferguson, we're looking into starting a Kalpana chapter there. So people who are part of Kalpana could take charge and do outreach and workshops for their peers, or maybe go to schools. So yeah, we are also looking into that. We want to be like touch as many as people as possible, and that also includes school children. So as a part of Step Champions program in Uttarakhand, you have to do outreach. I also did outreach with as many as school children. We could possibly could, so like they also have an idea like what is going on. Girls from 9th, 10th, 11th standards also know, like could have relatable role models. So we are also working towards that. Yeah.
Yeah, so to add to that, yeah, we are in partnerships, like she said, rightly said, we are getting chapters, Kalpana chapters in individual colleges. Like, for example, Christ University, we are in the final stages of signing the MOU. Ferguson colleges, we are still talking to them about that. And various IITs and IIT Tirupati and all those people are also interested in opening a Kalpana chapter. So, in that sense, we want to build a Kalpana community where all these women come in and they take charge of this program. I mean, a chapter, and they get their college students and maybe even school students to inspire them and get people to conduct trainings in their particular areas and all. Yeah.
Good morning. Myself, Dr. Barsadatta Kakoti from Dibrugarh University. Your talk is very much informative. I just want to know a very simple thing. Your both this Vigyanshala and Kalpana are based on to promote the girls, right? Meritorious girls based on STEM. Okay. So what is the basic difference between these two programs?
So Vignan Shala is the NGO that we established, and under Vignan Shala, like we said, that we have two programs: STEM Champions and Kalpana. Kalpana, she for STEM, as it rightly says, it's only for women because we want to get women because we think that we want to get an equitable workforce in women and bring them up in per se or inspire them to achieve more than they I mean, despite their challenges. The STEM champion is program is for both boys and girls, right? So our motto in Vigyan Shala or our vision is to get opportunities in science to people who are underprivileged or under represented. So to get them into the forefront and help them achieve heights in STEM careers. So our STEM champion program in Uttarakhand is for both boys and girls.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
yeah, sorry to confuse you, but yeah, so we were only here to talk about Kalpana. The STEM Champions program is only for Uttarakhand for now, and we're still piloting it. Like, it's very new, it's just very new. It's like a new
Nascent,
vision
yeah.
for Vigyanshala, and we are still working on it. So, Kalpana is what we're really focusing at the forefront, and what we want to work with your university and colleges for now. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thanking Darshana ma'am and the Kalpana team as well as the Vikanshala team for all their efforts to bring up the Kalpana initiative so that this initiative can help many of the students to opt for different careers in different fields. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you so
ma'am.
much.
Thank you. The online interactive session ends here. Now I'd like to request one of our convener, Dr. Abhinita Madam, to please give the vote of thanks on behalf of the Physics Department.
Hello, everyone. So, on behalf of the physics department, myself and Dr. Bulumani Kalita, ma'am, we are wish to thank our university authority for providing us the opportunity and assistance to hold this program. We thank the Department of Physics, entire faculty, and the office staff, and also the research scholars of the department, including the UG and PG students, for their support and they are sitting with us since 9:30 here. I think most of them without breakfast. So thanks for being with us, to all of you. And the main actually aim of this type of workshop is a kind of exposure. The first speaker was speaking to all of us, so that you can yourself use the information, our knowledge, whatever you are getting here, and also you can disseminate to others. By others, I mean your peers, your siblings, and cousins, all. And I also thank the students and teachers of different colleges and schools who are joining us after some time. The college students and teachers are with us. So I also thank them for making us, I mean, this meaningful, making this session meaningful, because without the participation from the participants, any event is, I don't think it is a successful one. So thanking all of the research scholars of the Department of Physics, the Center for Atmospheric Studies, for their cooperation, kind cooperation, either in technical or in, academic, everything. Uh, Thank you. And I stop here and we declare the session ends here. Thank you very much.